Kai, Archie, thanks for your time and for providing us with an update on the company. Kai, I'll start with you. Our audience may be familiar with the company, but given things have looked to have changed significantly at a corporate level over the last 12 months, can you just give us a brief rundown of the recent transition?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Over the last 12 months, we have been able to restructure our board and management team to give TrivarX stronger financial and corporate governance, as well as industry experience within the US. We spent considerable time diving into the company's technology and capabilities, as well as engaging with external consultants on various commercialization pathways. And now firmly believe, with the back of our phase 1 trial results, that we're perfectly pointed in the right direction. Specifically, we've introduced Mr. Chris Timonopoulos as well as a non-exec director, as well as Tony Keating as an advisor to the board. Both bring tremendous knowledge on medical technology companies, FDA regulatory pathways, and commercialization in the US, having recently sold Rezap to Pfizer 12 months ago. We've also brought on a new company sec and CFO, both based in Perth, which has resulted in a considerable reduction in corporate overheads and increase in day-to-day efficiency. In the last 2 months, we've completed a share consolidation and rebranded the company to TrivarX to properly align the recent changes and the company's values and mission. The core of what the company does and its primary focus for the next 6 to 12 months is on clearing its flagship machine learning algorithm that can objectively screen for depression. We're able to take a patient's biomarkers, specifically EEG brain signals and ECG heartwave signals, from polysomnography sleep tests to calculate HRV and objectively report on whether a patient has a current major depressive episode and the severity of their symptoms. We're currently running our phase 2 trials across 15 sleep centers in the US and are on track to complete 400 patients by the start of Q2 next year. So it's a very exciting time for us moving into the new year, and we're confident in the team and structures we've put in place to unlock shareholder value.
Thanks, Kai. Now, Archie, can you just expand more on the relationship between sleep and mental health conditions, which Kai just referenced, and how does the company's algorithm help with this?
Thank you, Alex. The real insight of TrivarX technology is the concept that sleep is the window into mental health. Like restorative sleep, we're sleeping longer, if both a prodromic symptom and a risk factor for developing depression. 90% of patients suffering from depression have comorbid sleep disturbances. And if a person has moderate to severe symptoms of depression, then this relationship becomes more robust. By combining brain waves and heart signals, we have identified a series of unique biomarkers. These biomarkers are now strong predictors inside the algorithm. Our biomarkers were the core of this year's presentation at the World Sleep Congress in Brazil. TrivarX's goal is to enhance the screening and diagnosis of mental health disorders by integrating subjective assessment with objective physiological data, specifically data collected during sleep. We analyze the data using our AI proprietary algorithms. Historically, the potential of combining physiological and psychiatric data has been underutilized despite substantial scientific evidence suggesting that people with depression and other mental health disorders exhibit distinct physiological changes. Our novel approach promises a more comprehensive understanding and recognition of mental health conditions.
Thanks, Archie. So the company has recently completed phase 1 of its planned trial. Can you just talk us through the results in layman's terms?
In phase 1, we collected 313 subjects. The study consists of using self-reported psychiatric questionnaires to screen for depressive symptoms in sleep centers. Phase 1 started in September 2022 and was completed in May 2023. During phase 1, we expanded the algorithm by adding the depression module. During phase 1, we collected 2,500 hours sleep recording, corresponding to almost 300,000 epochs. All epochs were used for algorithm development. Our phase 1 preliminary results demonstrated 72 sensitivity and a specificity of 71% and a negative predictive value of 92%. In layman's terms, sensitivity is the ability of a test to correctly identify subjects that have the condition. Specificity is the ability of a test to correctly identify subjects that don't have the condition. And NPV represents the number of subjects with false negative test.
Thanks, Archie. So in regards to phase 2, where is the company up to here and how does it differ to phase 1?
The main difference is that in phase 1, the psychiatry interview was self-administered using a digital platform, while in phase 2, the same psychiatry interview is now administered by a clinician. Phase 2 enrollment is going very well. Up to today, we have collected 160 patients, and we are hoping for a market update by mid-January 2024.
Thanks, Archie. So, Kai, how is this going to underpin discussions with the FDA?
Yeah, Alex, we're now in the process of completing our pre-submission materials ahead of our first Q-sub with the FDA in Q1 next year. We've seen, as Archie mentioned, a considerable uptick in enrollment rates as part of recently onboarding a group of 3 sleep centers based in Texas, which also provides our trial with geographical diversity in the West as part of the FDA's requirements. From here, we will look to file a second Q-sub in Q3 next year, and based on the FDA feedback we receive, we'll move into clinical validation at the end of Q4.
Kai, Archie, really appreciate you taking the time to chat today, and all the best for what's to come.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.